Hey, good Friday morning to you here in Middle Tennessee. This is Mornings on Main Street, and I hope you are having a fantastic start to your Friday. If you're not having one by the time this show is over, we hope it is much, much better. Boy, look at downtown Nashville. That is Broadway with obviously Bridgestone Arena in the background. And boy, what a beautiful day it is outside. As we toss it to the intern to tell us how beautiful is it going to be today.
Good morning, folks. How are you today? It is going to be a nice day today. Our weather today is brought to you by Roy Meat Service. It's a fantastic locally owned meat place in Nashville. You go there for anything you want, really. They have lunch, dinner. You can take it home with you, grill it up, throw it on the grill. Me and Chris are going to go try their SF Fernando's fajitas. They're amazing. And, shout out to Roy. The weather today, it is mainly sunny to start, then a few afternoon clouds. It's 85 currently, and it looks like that's going to be about the high. Or sorry, it's not currently 85, but the high is 85 today. And the winds coming from the northeast from 10 to 15 miles an hour. No chance of rain. Well, there's 3% chance, but
it's minuscule.
Right. And that's your weather.
Man. Well, I'm Chris Yao, and I am hosting Mornings on Main Street with you today. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. As you can see, I have in my background, I'm in Austria this morning, Justin. So
that's a great spot. That's
a beautiful morning here in Austria.
Aren't they all?
I mean, really, let's be honest here.
Right.
Yeah. Want to get to a couple of quick things, Justin, to our top 3 stories for this week that I thought these were interesting. One of them, let's just say I was scrolling through social media yesterday and I came to a TikTok or a reel. I don't know which one it was.
Of the kids are calling it these days.
Well, Facebook has Reels and Instagram has Reels, and then there's TikTok, but they're the same type of video, and most people just use the same video for both, and they just send it to all the social medias. Well, TDOT has a TikTok account, like the Tennessee Department of Transportation.
Wow, I feel really out of the loop now.
I mean, first of all, that's just awkward in and of itself. It's like, what are you going to do? Like, I mean, first of all, I want you to be building my roads, not worrying about going viral on TikTok.
Right.
Second of all, how is this going to be entertaining? Well, they figured it out.
Did they?
I don't know if you saw Wednesday morning when an overturned truck hauling some logs closed the I-40 East exit ramp at Briley Parkway for about 6 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it didn't reopen. It happened around like 9:15 Wednesday morning and then didn't reopen until like 3:00 that afternoon.
It's too long.
Especially for the I-40 ramp at Briley. I mean, like that's a pretty busy intersection. Like
for whoever needed those logs. But then you need them ASAP. That's not an item that you just can get whenever.
Yeah, that's a whole thing when you get there, right? Well, so they were filming, and I don't know if you know the sound that says, "Can we skip to the good part?" And that's not us. But it said, "Can we skip to the good part?" And so you see the truck laying on its side with the logs. Some of the logs are still on the trailer,
right?
And then they pan over the side of the railing, and there you can see it down the bottom left-hand corner just a little bit. There are just logs just everywhere. So yeah, there it is. You see those are logs that fell off the top of the truck, and luckily there was nothing down there but grass. Like, I mean, can you imagine just driving down and then boom, like you just get hit by it? I mean, it's Final Destination.
I know. I was about to say that. That is the scariest part of all the movies, I think.
And nobody was injured. Like, after all of this, nobody was injured. So
I mean, that looks like the softest grass I've ever seen.
It does look like, we've had so much rain lately. I guess it's just been kind of, hooking us up. But I just thought it was crazy. I'm scrolling through TikTok and it's like, TDOT? Seriously?
Yeah,
and
that's
and
the
then
real takeaway here.
it was actually entertaining. So I don't know
All right,
how much I don't know how
good.
entertaining the rest of their TikToks were, but that one was solid. So
All right, all right. Shout
there
out
you
to
go.
T Dot.
Shout out to T Dot for that. I'm looking forward to more TikTok content from T Dot.
I really am setting the bar pretty high too. Like they're gonna have to, like you said, I'm looking for flaws because I'm not sure how you could make that fun.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Yeah,
and honestly, like you made it interesting. So now you've set the expectation. You have to meet it
exactly.
now, and
Right.
that's a problem sometimes. There
Putting a
you
lot
go.
putting a lot on you, T Dot, but
Right? I mean, I need good roads and entertaining content, please and thank you.
you entered this world.
You this is your fault. You've put yourself in this position. I can't help you.
Right.
Uh, other stories around Middle Tennessee. We'll head down here to a story that I actually wrote. So I don't know
Nice.
that it's necessarily a top story, but it's a cool story.
There you go.
A Murray County native named Melanie Smith is working with a company out in Carson City, Nevada, called Dream Flights. And Dream Flights goes around the country, and for the last year they have been really putting a focus on taking World War II veterans on a flight in a 1940 Stearman plane.
Wow.
And so, yeah, it's a really cool thing. And recently they came down here. Cecil Whiteside, who is 100 years old, actually got to go up in a 1940 Stearman open cockpit biplane, very similar to what you would have seen in the World War II era.
Right.
And they take them around and kind of just give them one last ride in the air, and it's really cool. So Melanie, who is from again Murray County, wanted to come back to Murray County and bring this Dream Flights organization out here to make sure that veterans in Southern Middle Tennessee were taken care of. So what they do is they go around to not just World War II veterans, but assisted living homes and
Right.
that sort of thing. You can actually apply for them to come out and do this, for anyone. So it was really cool. Melanie brought her husband, who is a pilot. She's the crew chief. Unfortunately, they were unable to fly because her husband had a shoulder surgery, but they were still part of the whole thing. And there's some really cool photos from that. It was just a really neat idea to, she said, when you see these people come out and they see that plane, there's a spring in their step. Like, I mean, it's just like there's a whole new life breathed into them for the next, 18 to 24 hours.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, the plane seemed like, 1940s is a long time.
Yeah, clearly it's fine.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, I'm afraid of flying. So,
well, okay. So I'm not necessarily afraid of flying, but I agree with you. Like, I mean, there are stuff that's that old. I mean, that stuff's nearly 100 years old.
Right. And shout out to it. I'm sure it's sturdy, but
and they've done a great job. Daryl Fisher, who created the Dream Flights organization, he was a pilot. He has worked on planes. I mean, I feel like he wouldn't put these folks' lives at risk.
No, definitely not.
For me,
it's more like how do planes even really fly anyways?
It's more like I'm not getting in any plane, whether it's open cockpit or 747. Like, it's not happening. No, I don't mind flying necessarily. The first time I ever flew, I was really young. So like, I guess that kind of helps you get over it.
Probably.
Because you don't know any better.
Right. I guess, before I watch the movie Flight with Denzel Washington, I should not get, I should probably do a plane ride before that.
Snakes on a plane or something.
Yeah, exactly. My first experience. You weren't in that movie. It's like, well, I feel it though.
Yeah, but it could happen, right?
It's like so real.
It's the same reason you don't drive behind log trucks.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, let's be honest here.
Welcome to Mornings on Main Street. We're translating movies to real life.
And it's working, actually.
Exactly. There's no such thing as a fiction.
So I thought it was a really cool story. If you want to see
No,
it,
that's cool.
mainstreetmurray.com, Melanie Smith. It's the top story right now on our website. So it's worth it. And it's really, it's just unique. I'm glad that they're doing that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And finally, want to send our thoughts out still to the folks up in Eastern Kentucky who are still dealing with the catastrophic flood. I mean, we know what it's like to deal with a flood of this nature. I mean, our friends in Waverly are still dealing with the aftermath of their flood, and that was a year ago.
Right.
But one of the cool stories that I found from our sister, or one of our papers in Mount Juliet, the Chronicle of Mount Juliet, is that apparently there are some folks who are bringing a cat rescue group traveled to Hazard, Kentucky, and brought back more than 40 cats and a few dogs to their facility
Wow.
in Mount Juliet. So, one of the things about, particularly one of the things about this show is it's very animal driven and oriented. We love animals here on Mornings on Main Street, especially rescuing cats and dogs. And, Amy Simchick and staff member Sandy Moyer, who came back, Amy said, she's never seen anything like it. Floodwaters were just removed entire houses off their foundations. There was nowhere for houses to go except down rivers and streams. And so it's just really powerful that they were able to bring home 40 cats and a few dogs. It's just, thank goodness there are, folks like Amy and her staff at their facility in Mount Juliet.
No kidding. I bet
So
that place was jumping.
Yeah. In Mount Juliet, dozens of true rescue volunteers work to make room for the cats. The facility is out on Lebanon Road and already had like 324 animals, but the volunteers set up a room for the new arrivals, just for the new arrivals, and made sure to find emergency foster homes. So 20 of the Kentucky cats were placed in foster homes immediately, and one was even adopted last week. So that's exciting. Well done.
That's awesome. That's fantastic. 40 cats is so many cats.
It's a lot of cats. I mean, the thing about cats, so, and I know that this is probably a different situation, but the thing about cats is that sounds like a movie.
What?
Like, I feel like that would be that's kind of like a horror movie.
Right. Yeah.
The thing about cats and cats,
exactly. Just 40 of them.
Well, that would be scary.
I was thinking maybe it was like a Homeward Bound, that movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's like one cat takes lead and it's like, we got to make it to the east, away from the flood or something,
That's exactly right.
and they make it.
That's yes, and they end up and they think they did it all, and it's actually they were rescued by humans. But they get there and they're like, we did it,
and we're like, you sure did.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so great. But the thing about cats is you can have more than one, and it's really not like too crazy. I mean, they can get wild, but in this situation, you probably just want to have the one because I feel like they really need to be nurtured, and they're going to be getting used to new surroundings, and most of them may have had owners that couldn't find them or whatever, and so you end up in a situation where you really have to take care of that cat. But you can have multiple cats, and it's not as taxing as having multiple dogs sometimes.
Yeah, especially if they if you get them at the same age, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you have an older cat and you get a younger cat, they don't usually. I mean, in my experience,
I was gonna say I don't really know
each other.
I don't do cats very often. I've had one cat at various times, but never multiple at a time. So I just don't 40. Know. If you would like to help the folks at True Rescue in Mount Juliet, you can run by there between 9 and 5 each day. Go to truerescue.org or the organization's Facebook page to volunteer, donate, foster an animal, or adopt an animal. That's it's on page A5 if you're looking for it. And there's a picture of one of the cats actually right there. Look at that. Hey, look at that adorable kitty. How could you not want that?
Right. Sorry.
My goodness.
Hear that ice maker in the back?
Well, there you have it. Those are our top 3 stories from the week here on Mornings on Main Street. I just got a text from our guest coming up later in the show at 7:40. The kid who is, we have a fantastic couple of guests going to join us, and unfortunately, the young man who was involved in the story is unable to join us. He's got a fever, but that's okay. We've got Mom. We've got a teacher from Columbia Academy, and there's a fantastic story coming your way at 7:40. You're going to want to stick around for that. When we come back, Justin, I'm going to tell you about all the cool things you can do this weekend in Nashville. We've got 3, or in the Nashville area, we've got 3 really cool events going on. There's a lot more, but I just chose 3 to highlight. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So stick around. Mornings on Main Street is coming back right after this.
When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel, urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
At WellSkin Dermatology and Aesthetics, we pride ourselves in providing access, innovation, and a patient experience second to none. Access to care and treatment when you need it. Innovation with medical-led cosmetics and various on-site technologies for full-service treatments with a customer experience that is calming, casual, and effective. Independently owned, providing medical, surgical, pediatric, and cosmetic dermatology and more. Visit WellSkinMD.com to schedule your appointment today. WellSkin Dermatology and Aesthetics. Access.
At Sumner Funeral and Cremation, our mission is to serve families as our own, celebrate the life of their loved one, and help begin the healing process.
My whole family, including my wife and my mom and siblings, were very happy with the treatment that we received. I would highly recommend Sumner Funeral and Cremation.
We offer funeral, burial, cremations, and pre-planning services.
Sumner Funeral and Cremation. Traditional, affordable, dignified. SumnerFuneral.com.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
Welcome back in Mornings on Main Street here on Main Street Television. As you see downtown Nashville, Tennessee, Broadway, I can see the former Ernest Tubb Record Shop. I can see my friends at AJ's Bar and Grill, Rippy's right there on the corner, Jackson, the bottom right-hand corner. I might know Nashville a little bit, downtown Broadway a little bit too well, Justin.
Yeah, no, this is a very vivid picture. I've always loved the Bridgestone Arena, the old Gaylord Tower thing.
Yeah, it's really neat. And I thought, when they put that together, I thought it was really, something that would be unique to a Nashville arena. And you kind of have to make things, unique. I mean,
Right.
not necessarily uh, to make people want to go. I mean, the events are going to obviously bring the people, but having something unique like that is really cool. And what I love about it is that inside that those are office buildings. I mean, Sirius XM radio is inside there. That's where you can find it. Sirius XM, the Highway Studios. It's just really neat and unique.
Oh, definitely, I agree. I love places where you don't know their apartment buildings or their office buildings, and they actually end up being.
Yeah, you're right. When it's a kind of a surprise.
Yeah,
it's always fun. It looks like traffic is doing well right now throughout, at least downtown. This is surprising to me, and I wonder if this is a post-COVID world because my wife used to work downtown, and she would have to get to work at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, and it was difficult for her to get to One Nashville Place in the Regions building where she worked. And now it looks like it would just be a breeze.
I know this. So what do you've been to Atlanta, obviously.
Sure.
Traffic compared to from here to Atlanta. Do you have enough sample size being to Atlanta enough times to?
Okay. So obviously when we were in Atlanta for the SEC Media Days, right, we did not have to get on the interstate to get from our hotel to the Omni and the College Football Hall of Fame. But it's
crazy,
ridiculous.
Right?
I mean, you even when you didn't have to get on the interstate, it was still a ridiculous amount of traffic. The craziest part was, looking down onto the 8-lane or 10-lane interstate, and it's like, where are all these people?
Right. So
this would never happen in Atlanta ever. You would never see streets with just no cars on it.
Well, so I lived there for about 6 months at my old job, and so I feel like I can say this a little bit. Atlanta. So I had lived 3 miles away from where I worked. It took me 45 minutes to get there, and then an hour and 20 to get back. And I took a different way each time in Atlanta. It was bad. It was horrible.
I mean, there's just so much congestion.
Right.
Look, we don't have the congestion problem that Atlanta has. What we have in Nashville is poor drivers.
Right. I always wonder where everybody's going to. Like, where are y'all going? I guess they wonder about me though.
They're the same thing. Like, where are you going, Justin?
Can we all just go home?
They're going the same place you are.
Right. Exactly. Have you ever been lost?
Wherever that may be.
Have you ever been lost and then saw somebody and they look like they know where they're going?
Dude,
you just follow them?
Like this person walking across the street right now, like that would never happen.
No.
In a place like Atlanta.
Little Jay.
You can't just walk across the street.
She's in the lane.
It's not even a crosswalk.
Goodness. People are reckless.
Well, I mean,
we're people watching.
We really are. Well, let me tell you where you can watch some people this weekend. How about that?
There you go.
How about that segue?
That was nice.
It was solid, right? All right. Tonight and tomorrow. First of all, tonight, high school football.
Oh yeah,
dude, we got jamborees all over the place. I know Metro Nashville jamboree was last night, but jamborees all over the place. We got jamborees here down in Columbia. There's a scrimmage out at Oakland between Oakland and Independence. Got a couple of big time players in that one. Cody Bagosh, quarterback at Independence, is being touted by Pitt, and so there's a lot of high school football going on tonight. So if you are looking for some high school football, I'm sure that you can find somewhere in your area. And I know we've got some, like I said, I will be, so here's the thing. Columbia Central High School and Columbia Academy will actually play tonight. They're going to play 2 quarters starting at 8 o'clock, and that is going to be interesting. They don't. So when I was in high school, I went to a small private school, and boy, if we would have ever played the local public school in football, the basketball game was just insane.
Right.
I can't imagine what the football game would have been like.
So it's like Lebanon versus Friendship.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Very similar. That would be. Do they play?
I don't think so. They didn't when I went there. I don't think.
So if they did play, though, it would be a huge deal.
Absolutely.
Well, that's what's happening tonight. We've got Columbia Academy and Columbia Central. They're going to play, and it's going to be electric atmosphere.
Catholics versus convicts.
Catholics versus convicts. Yes, that's it. But also tonight and tomorrow, you can head out to the Williamson County Fair. This is just a primer if you are getting ready for obviously the Tennessee State Fair at the Wilson County Fair. So it's a lot smaller. I know, Justin, you have probably spent a lot of time at the Wilson County Fair in your life.
Oh, so many funnel cakes. So many.
Is that your favorite? Is that your favorite fair food?
I'm a big deep fried Oreo guy too.
Yes.
But
do you know where you get the best deep fried Oreos?
Where?
Jack Brown's over by First Horizon.
I think there's one in Chattanooga like that. Or Jack Brown's Burgers, right?
Yes, yeah. So Jack Brown's Burgers over in Germantown. You can. Oh my goodness, just phenomenal. But yeah, that's my favorite too. Deep fried, any kind of cookies or whatever. Those are the tops of the list. So
absolutely. Have you ever had a Twinkie?
Oh yeah. When I don't know when it was, I don't know why we did it, but the Top 5 Tuesday on Main Street Sports Today, we had top 5 fair foods.
Really?
Yeah. So
what was yours?
Deep fried Oreos. It's the best. It really is. And I love the corn dogs, like the corn dogs that dip right in front of you and then throw it and they're like, a good foot long. Oh, it's the best.
Corn dogs. Real quick sidebar, not even on the fair topic. Sonic 50-cent corn dog day.
Oh, always a good day.
Yeah, it was amazing. They don't really advertise it, and I get people like me probably go there with $4 and give me all your corn dogs.
You've got give me all the corn dogs you can give me.
Yeah, by the time you give me all those, I would have scraped change and enough change together to get more.
I have the Sonic app because it's always happy hour, and I'm down for Sonic. The Sonic app on always happy hour. All right, so Williamson County Fair is tonight and tomorrow. That's a good primer for the state fair, which starts next week, I believe. It starts next week. Also, that's down here in my neck of the woods. But if you're up in the Fort Campbell area, the Fort Campbell Morale, Welfare, and Recreation's Intramural Sports is hosting a vintage baseball game. Justin, have you ever seen a vintage baseball game?
I went to. Well, I guess not really. What's the difference?
So vintage baseball, they don't use gloves. They use 1800s rules. They call them gentleman's rules. So
sounds harder already.
It's very unique. You don't have a diamond necessarily. You just kind of play in a field. No gloves. They don't use gloves, like I said.
Doesn't even use gloves. A glove.
Nobody uses gloves. They don't throw really hard.
Oh. Okay.
And yeah, so I mean, you're not.
They attempt to, right?
This is not the live ball era. These are rules from the pre-live ball era. So it's really unique. If you can't spit, can't curse, etc., blah blah blah. There's no infield fly. A batter hit is not awarded a base, and that sort of. It's a really cool thing. We have a team down here in Spring Hill called the Quick Steps, and but on Saturday you'll see the Stone River Scouts and the Ragtags. They will be playing. The youngest player is 22 years old, while the oldest player, Uncle Jesse, is 72.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So before the game, the first pitch is set for 11 a.m. Before the game, John O'Brien, who's a historian, will give a short talk about the historical significance of baseball and what Fort Campbell, then Camp Campbell, was like in the 1860s. So a little history lesson, little old school baseball, 11 a.m. At Perez Field at 5666 Wickham Avenue. Absolutely free to go. Just show up.
I'm assuming they can't use aluminum bats.
No, they're not. They're barely using like wooden slats, dude.
Right, like a broomstick.
Yeah, like that's basically what they're using. It's a completely different game. But yeah, we play here at Ripavilla, which is
what a name.
Yeah, that's an old plantation home down here, and they have a big field where they play vintage baseball games. So it's really unique. It's really fun. If you ever get a chance to go, you should go watch it just one time. You might actually, I don't know if you're a big baseball, fan or player, but if you ever, instead of playing slow pitch softball, this is way cooler.
Yeah,
and you get to wear the cool uniform.
No, I'd be down to try it. So I golf. I ended up learning golf before I learned how to swing a baseball bat. So every time I swing, I swing down.
You're down.
You gotta
Yeah, it's a big difference.
So it's tough.
Big difference.
So it's tough for me. But I was watching it.
It's fun.
Yeah,
so I was scrolling through our websites, as I am wont to do on occasion, and came across a Mrs. Cheap article, which is always good if you're not reading Mary Hance's articles in all of our papers or online. Mrs. Cheap is just a phenomenal wealth of information of things to do on a budget specifically, which I am on a budget.
Exactly. If you're not, then you're probably, I don't know what rich people do.
Yeah, I don't know what those people do. I've never not been on a budget.
Right.
No, I've never stuck to the budget, but I've always been on the budget.
It's important to have one. I don't think sticking to it is as important.
It's funny. I saw a video that said, a lot of people see me buying all this expensive stuff and think I'm rich. I'm not rich. I'm just irresponsible.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is me.
Exactly. So, zero savings. I mean, that's all.
It is what it is.
Waiting for the big break, though.
Also tonight and tomorrow in 5 Points, East Nashville, get this, the Tomato Art Festival.
That's great.
That's
Wait,
right.
so with tomato as your painting utensils.
So this is kind of looking like you just incorporate tomatoes into your art.
I see.
I don't think you're making art with tomatoes necessarily, but you are incorporating, visualizations of tomatoes, or tomatoes, or
yeah. So
I don't know how you say. Yeah, I say mater. But I'm from Alabama, so
syllables.
that's just how it works. So
I'm big into Veggie Tales.
Oh, what's his name? What's it? Bob, right? Is Bob the tomato?
Yeah, and then
Larry's the cucumber. Bob and Larry.
No hair from my hairbrush. Yeah, man, it's a banger.
Oh, it's so good. Well, they've got the art show that starts tonight. The Push, Pull, and Wear parade is tomorrow. And they ask you to line the streets of 5 Points and see the quirky and original parade entries every year. They will be pushing, pulling, or wearing tomatoes. They don't care. Just bring the tomato spirit. Local bands and drum lines bring the excitement and get the crowd going. You've got the Eastie Beastie photo contest. Local Animal Resource and Rescue East Community Action Network is hosting a photo contest where participants submit a photo of their pets dressed and presenting uniting spirit of the tomato. So
that's awesome.
You've got a haiku. You just mentioned a haiku the other day. So the haiku contest.
Look at that.
Man.
There's a haiku contest?
There's a haiku contest.
Man, they're calling my bluff on the haiku.
They are. They're like, I heard that Justin fella say he could write one, and I just don't know.
They told everybody in the town, hey, Justin's coming down. Yeah, the intern,
That's
really big on haikus. We'll see.
We'll judge him. There's ice cream community art, a kids art show, a costume contest, a recipe contest, a cornhole tournament, Bloody Mary contest. Come on now. Come on.
Hey, yo.
And the biggest, littlest, and ugliest tomato contest. So there's a lot going on at this tomato art fest, and I think it's really cool. I'm here for it.
Me too.
I'm 100% here for it. So
good.
Check it out. 5 Points, East Nashville, East Nasty, baby. And it's home of one Joe Williams, friend of Main Street Sports Today, and I guess the voice of Nashville Super Speedway. He and Chase McCabe do the PA announcing.
No kidding.
So, yeah. So
all
there
right.
you go. We have got a fantastic story coming up for you on the other side of a break. This story is, first off, I've not heard the story. This is going to be a completely organic experience for all of us. We're going to learn this story. What I do know is that a young child at Columbia Academy here in Columbia, Tennessee, was unresponsive on campus, and a teacher was able to take the necessary steps in order to essentially save his life. So we'll get the full details on the other side of this break here on Mornings on Main Street on Main Street TV.
Serving Williamson and surrounding counties, Bone and Joint Institute of Tennessee offers comprehensive orthopedic care with 16 subspecialized physicians. Our practice provides high-tech care with a hometown touch. We offer physician clinics, physical and occupational therapy, advanced imaging, and surgical services, including interventional procedures. Call us at 615-791-2630. We're Bone and Joint Institute of Tennessee. High-tech care with a hometown touch.
I highly recommend Sumner Funeral and Cremation because of their caring nature and attentiveness to detail.
Pre-planning your funeral now will bring you peace of mind and less stress to your loved ones. When the chaos of losing you happens, your family can honor and celebrate your life, knowing things are happening just as you wanted them to. Pre-planning determines the details of your funeral, cemetery services, and can be less expensive. We are honored to serve you and are always here for you in your time of need.
Sumner Funeral and Cremation. Traditional, affordable, dignified. SumnerFuneral.com.
Have you heard about the high levels of
Jody Jones Dentistry can handle all your dental needs, from the basics to cosmetic procedures. All of this in the nicest dental facility I have ever seen. Jody has done it right. They're located conveniently at 55 Music Square East, and for an appointment, it's simple. Dial 615-259-5100 and tell them Plaz sent you.
I'm Bart Durham.
I was sworn in as a lawyer in 1963, and I've been working as a lawyer since then.
We're a firm that does exclusively personal injury, a lot of tractor-trailer crashes. Insurance companies will open up their checkbooks when you force them to.
We have systems that work.
We get the most money for our clients in the shortest amount of time. I'm Blair Durham. My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
I was looking for a major where I didn't have to do math or science. And when I took, so my sophomore year, I just took a ton of different classes trying to figure out something I liked, and one of them was Journalism 101. And it was like, well, this is great. You get to ask people questions and find out about them and then write about it. What could be better? So that's how I got into it.
Hey everyone, I'm John English. This is Keith Wallace, and we would like to welcome you to John English Antique Sports and Cards in Shelbyville, Tennessee.
We specialize in graded and ungraded sports and non-sports cards, vintage wax boxes, and unopened cases. We have a large selection of PSA graded cards. We also specialize in old sports collectibles, baseball, football, basketball, golf, and tennis. You can find it all at John English Antique Sports and Cards.
We are happy to be associated with Nashville's greatest sports antique, George Plaster.
Not to steal a line from Brent Musburger, but to steal his line. You are looking live downtown Nashville, Broadway, with folks crossing the street at their leisure. No crosswalk necessary. That's all I'm saying. So it's a beautiful day here in Middle Tennessee. Hope you guys are having a fantastic start to your Friday. We are looking forward to the weekend. Again, county fairs, tomato art festivals. It's going to be a fantastic weekend. High school football starting tonight. Again, Columbia Central and Columbia Academy taking the field at Murray County Park tonight. But we have another story from Columbia Academy, as I told you on the other side of the break. Looking forward to it, as I'll bring in now Ashley Colvett and Holly Bell. Ashley and Holly are, I guess, at school, it looks like. So how are you guys doing this morning?
Doing good. Ready to start a Friday. Yes, we're doing well.
Awesome. I'm so excited to have you guys on the show. As I said before, and as I told you guys, I wanted to have this kind of an organic conversation because I know a little bit about the story, but I want you guys to kind of tell me, how this story developed from the start. So Holly, if you don't mind, I'm going to ask you, tell me exactly what happened, and we can go from there.
Well, it started when we were on the playground last Friday during recess, right after lunch. We'd been out there for maybe 10 minutes, and I saw Tripp climbing this little ladder to get to a slide, and he just lost his footing, and I saw him fall backwards, and I heard him cry. So I started making my way up there, and somebody said to me, I think he's having trouble breathing. And the way that I saw him fall, I said he might have just knocked his breath out of him. And then Carrie McCullough, the teacher, looked at me and said no. And so I ran, because I was already halfway there. I ran up. They laid him down for me, and he was having trouble breathing. He was doing what's called agonal breathing, where it looks like somebody's breathing, but they're not really pushing any air. He was gray, and his lips were blue. And so they teach you naturally to start with compressions, because his pulse was thready and weak.
Sure.
And, God told me, just take a minute. And so I did, and did a quick assessment, and did what's called a sternal rub. And he had some kind of response to the painful stimuli. And when I saw that, I thought, okay, I'm going to try 2 rescue breaths. If that doesn't work, then I will do chest compressions. And it took 1 rescue breath, and he took this huge breath in, started crying, which is a beautiful sound. When you see a baby cry when they're in a situation like that. And during the whole process, though, it was funny because we had CPR training a week prior, and everyone kind of already knew their roles. And it's the way we practiced it with the CPR dummy was exactly how it happened. And I think that since everyone knew their role is why we were so successful. It's as far as Aaron calling 911, Carrie, the teacher, calling Ben Jones, he's our security officer. And then Emily Anderson running down and getting an AED. By the time she got back with the AED and the school nurse, we didn't even need it. We hooked him up anyways, but he was still unconscious, but he was good at that point. So, our training was top notch from Ben Jones. And then what's great about, Columbia Academy system is that when you make a call to 911 out on our phones, it goes to all of administration. So, in a minute and a half, all the administration was there. Ben Jones was there to help. James Thomas was there. Coach DeJarnett was there to help. Everyone had a job, as far as even Heather Milliken in the office going and opening the front gates. It was, our training, they train us, and we had to use it. We never thought we would, but because of our training that we had, it was successful, and it was, yeah.
How difficult, Holly, is it to be calm in that situation?
Well, I have been out of nursing for a year. Been in the preschool or junior kindergarten as Carrie McCullough's aide, and you have a fear that if you don't use your skills, you're going to lose them.
Mm-hmm.
But they came flooding back. This wasn't my first CPR incident working in a hospital, but obviously it was different. But with having our training just a week prior and having the experience, nursing, it was, I felt like I wasn't calm, but everyone told me I was. I said, well, I was screaming on the inside.
That's crazy. Ashley, welcome in. Thank you for joining us as well. And I am just so grateful that you guys would take some time from your day to hang out with us and tell Tripp's story. And I think we have Dad and Tripp as well.
Mm-hmm.
There they are. Tripp, what's going on, buddy? Tripp is getting ready to start baseball. I hear he's got new cleats. He's got a new helmet. He's so excited. Tripp, what's up, man?
Good morning. You gonna be shy?
It's so exciting to see him so happy. And Ashley, what is it like to get that call as a mother?
That's a great question. Like Holly was saying, a good thing about Columbia Academy system is that when that 911 call was made, all of administration was able to receive the same call. And so they all knew what was going on. And actually the first call I got was from the president of Columbia Academy, Dr. James Thomas. And honestly, when I got the call, I saw Columbia Academy on my cell phone and I thought, oh, my kid has done punched someone, or, they're griping about his dress code, whatever the case might be. All these things were running through my head. And then, first words out of his mouth were, Ashley, are you Tripp's mother? And I said, yes, sir, I am. And he said, this is Dr. James Thomas. And, everything left my body, essentially. And I was actually driving when I got the call. And, I don't remember a whole lot. I mean, it all just gets, turns into a big blur. They had told me to go to Columbia Academy because that's where the ambulance was coming. By the time I'd made it there, about 5 to 7 minutes later, they had already transported him or began transporting him to the helipad. But like Holly was saying, everyone was on their P's and Q's. I pulled up at the gate. They had people waiting for me there because Dr. Thomas had asked, what kind of car do you drive? So they knew to be looking for me. And I pull in and they said, they're already, routing him to the helipad, head over there. And which is pretty close, and so I'm just, window rolled down, backing up in CA campus parking lot and bawling my eyes out. And the lady at the gate, I honestly don't know who she was. Holly and I were trying to figure that out last night, but she said, would you like me to drive you? Because I know I probably looked a wreck. And like I said, it was a blur. By the time I got to the helipad, though, the officer who responded, Tony Gray from Columbia Police Department, we know him personally. He came to my door and, ripped it open. And he was like, just get out. I'll park your car. And so, I mean, I sprinted, for lack of better terms, to the ambulance. I jumped on, and at that point he was pretty coherent, and they were sticking an IV in him, and he just yelled, I want my mama. I said, I'm here. And that was really the first time I got to take a deep breath. So
yeah, when you hear his voice, I know that was probably a moment of relief for you. Dad, is that kind of, what is that like for you, just kind of getting that information and having to deal with it from where you are?
Yeah. As a dad, you try to be the strong one. But it was tough. You think you can prepare yourself for anything in life, but not that. So very nerve-wracking. I tried to be safe getting to the helipad, but that kind of took a back seat to just getting to my boy and making sure he was okay. But I got there shortly after Ashley did. I was coming from home, and and jumped in the ambulance, and he was talking to his mom and kind of just, noticing everything that was going on. And I knew I felt like everything was going to be okay at that point.
Well, it is such a great story, and we're so happy that Trip is feeling better this morning. Had a little fever last night, but he looks a little tired, so maybe didn't sleep well. But that's okay. So excited for you guys, and thank you guys so much for telling this story. Trip, we look forward to seeing you on the baseball field soon, buddy. He's like, nah, yeah, it's cool. Oh, there's his helmet. Yes. I've been looking forward to seeing it. Look at that. How exciting is that? Thank you guys again for taking time this morning. I want to let you get back. I know, Holly, you've got to get back to the classroom, and Ashley, thank you again. This is a phenomenal story, and it just goes to show that, our teachers and aides and everyone involved in our schools are certainly there for the safety and caring for our kids. And I know that you guys are so happy to have been able to be a part of the Columbia Academy family through this.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chris.
Absolutely. All right. See you later, buddy. All right. That is a phenomenal story. Thank you guys so much for telling it. And Justin, that is a story that you just, you hear about them throughout the country, but you just don't feel like you're going to hear one right here in your hometown. Right. And it's so cool to know that we have folks like Holly and Columbia Academy's entire staff. It sounds like they were all there in support. So
didn't miss a beat. That's awesome.
Well, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we will talk about this day in history.
All right.
I'm excited. This is Mornings on Main Street, and we'll be back on Street Television.
When you're thinking about golf, consider Riverside Golf Links. Under new ownership, the course has improved dramatically. It's now 27 holes, complemented by a 9-hole executive course. Book a tee time now at 615-847-5074 and get ready to enjoy the beauty of golf in the Old Hickory area at Riverside Golf Links.
Welcome to the Omni Nashville Hotel. Urban elegance with a vintage touch. Our 800-room hotel opened up in the fall of 2013 with 746 guest rooms and 54 suites.
At WellSkin Dermatology and Aesthetics, we pride ourselves in providing access, innovation, and a patient experience second to none. Access to care and treatment when you need it. Innovation with medical-led cosmetics and various on-site technologies for full-service treatments with a customer experience that is calming, casual, and effective. Independently owned, providing medical, surgical, pediatric, and cosmetic dermatology and more. Visit WellSkinMD.com to schedule your appointment today. WellSkin Dermatology and Aesthetics. Access to healthier.
At Sumner Funeral and Cremation, our mission is to serve families as our own, celebrate the life of their loved one, and help begin the healing process.
My whole family, including my wife and my mom and siblings, were very happy with the treatment that we received. I would highly recommend Sumner Funeral and Cremation.
We offer funeral, burial, cremations, and pre-planning services.
Sumner Funeral and Cremation. Traditional, affordable, dignified. SumnerFuneral.com.
For Dustin Timmons and Joey Donnelly, they welcome every opportunity to serve and satisfy their clients. Whether you are looking to build your dream home or renovate your current home, their team will ensure that every client and remodel is unique, luxurious, completed on time, and within budget. Contact them today to set an appointment for a free consultation or to view some of their completed projects by logging on to DonnellyTimmons.com.
This is attorney Bart Durham, and this is me. I'm Aaliyah. Keeping in good physical condition is really important to me. But when I had a wreck with a tractor trailer truck that hurt my legs so bad I couldn't work for almost a year, I knew I needed a lawyer that understood tractor trailer cases. So I called Bart. Bart gets millions of dollars for his clients every year.
At Bart Durham Injury Law, we've handled hundreds of tractor trailer cases.
My dad and I want to help. Give us a call at 615-242-9000.
Welcome back. It is Mornings on Main Street. I'm Chris Yao. Justin Kulik with us here. And don't forget, tune in at 2 o'clock today for Main Street Sports Today. Myself and Maurice Patton will be bringing you all the greatest news that is from preps to pros. And, of course, at 4 o'clock, you've got George Plaster following us. And at 11 o'clock today, the great Devin O'Day with Main Street Today. Justin,
Yes,
I did the honors last time, so you get to ask me what happened this day in history, and I'll tell you what year it happened, and I've got 2 years on either side of it
Yes.
to see if we can get it. Let's go.
All right. So these are really tough.
All right.
What I Googled was it's the History Channel. So
ooh,
going real hardcore here. And we have a very big range of years. So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
All right. So I tell you the event, right?
You tell me the event, I'll tell you the year.
All right. So the skeleton of the T-Rex was discovered on this date today. In what year?
T-Rex. I'm going to go with 1901.
No. So it was 1990, actually.
Really?
Yeah, how about that? Pretty recent.
That wouldn't have expected it to be that recent. Okay.
All right. All right. So second one is American golfer Jack Nicklaus.
Okay.
Set the title record. Let's see a little bit more detail.
PGA.
Yeah, wins the Professional Golf Association PGA Championship for his 14th major title, surpassing Bobby Jones's record of 13 majors. So you know majors, right? In golf.
Yeah.
Still holds today.
86.
That's when he retired, but 73. That was a good guess.
That's the only. Yeah, I knew there was something in there with me.
Yeah, he won his last, or actually, I thought he did win his last major.
No, I think Arnold Palmer won in 86.
Oh, maybe yeah.
That's what it was.
Gotcha. Okay, all right. So this one is really hard, but we'll see if you know it. Cleopatra committed suicide on this date, and we're looking for. I'll give you a hint for some BC kind of years.
Yeah. I was gonna say 423 BC. I don't know.
No, I'll give you one more guess since this one's really tough.
Okay, so hold on. Is it 3 or 4 numbers?
It's 2.
2 numbers. Okay,
Yeah.
so she was like right before. I'm gonna go with. How old am I? 30.
You do some subtraction.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with 36.
Oh, you were so close. 30. Oh, you were so close.
Brutal.
That was close.
Brutal. All right. It was a good try.
Yeah.
0 for 3. That's okay. This is a tough one. This is way harder than birthdays.
That was way harder than what you. Yeah, sorry.
So it is what it is. But thank you guys for hanging out with us here on Mornings on Main Street. I'm Chris Yao. He's the intern, Justin Kulik, and we hope you have a fantastic weekend and the rest of your Friday. We'll see you next week.
See y'all.